Toyota's named Koji Sato as its new president.
Electric cars are having a moment.
The demand for electric vehicles is booming worldwide.
Toyota CEO Koji Sato just revealed 5 new car models for 2027, and the significance of that moment reaches far beyond a routine product presentation. The return of the Toyota Stout, the arrival of an electric Toyota RAV4, the return of the Toyota Celica, a Toyota Land Cruiser pickup truck, and the return of the Toyota FJ Cruiser together form a statement about where Toyota wants to go next. This is not simply a mix of nostalgic nameplates and fresh technology. It is a carefully balanced vision that connects heritage, utility, performance, lifestyle identity, and electrification in one sweep. The reveal signals a company that is not choosing between old strengths and new demands, but trying to turn both into a unified strategy for 2027. Before we start, hit the like and subscribe buttons for more exclusive news. What makes the announcement especially compelling is how deliberately varied these 5 models are. Instead of focusing on one segment or one powertrain philosophy, the reveal spreads across several emotional and practical zones of the market. There's a compact truck idea through the Stout, a mainstream family crossover transformed through the electric RAV4, a sports coupe revival through the Celica, a rugged work and adventure machine through the Land Cruiser pickup, and a retro-styled off-road icon in the revived FJ Cruiser. That range matters because it shows Toyota is thinking about the future of mobility as something broader than electrification alone. It suggests that the company sees the coming years as a contest over identity, versatility, and relevance, not just a race to install bigger batteries or more screens. Koji Sato's role in this reveal matters because his leadership has increasingly been associated with a more emotionally expressive Toyota. Under his watch, the brand has shown that it understands the importance of engineering credibility, but also the power of enthusiasm. This reveal fits that direction almost perfectly. It does not present Toyota as a brand retreating into safe volume products. Instead, it shows a manufacturer willing to use some of its most recognizable names and formats to shape a new era. There is a confidence in announcing a lineup like this because every model carries expectations. A revived Stout cannot feel generic. A Celica cannot feel lifeless. An electric RAV4 cannot feel like a compliance car. An FJ Cruiser cannot lose its sense of personality. A Land Cruiser pickup cannot betray the toughness associated with that badge. The event becomes powerful because each model arrives with a built-in promise. The return of the Toyota Stout may be the most strategically interesting part of the entire reveal. For many years, the truck market has been dominated by increasingly large, increasingly expensive vehicles, leaving space for something smaller, more approachable, and more realistic for urban users, younger buyers, and small business owners. Reviving the Stout points to Toyota, recognizing that not every truck buyer wants maximum size or maximum towing as the defining measure of value. There is a growing appeal in a truck that feels efficient, maneuverable, useful, and accessible without being stripped of character. The Stout's return indicates Toyota sees opportunity in the gap between crossover comfort and full-size pickup excess. That matters because the modern automotive landscape has been asking for a rethinking of what a truck can be. A compact or mid-size adjacent Stout could reshape expectations by giving buyers a vehicle that works for commuting during the week and practical hauling on weekends without demanding the footprint, fuel burden, or intimidating scale of larger pickups. If Toyota positions the Stout correctly, it could become a symbol of smart utility rather than brute force image. That would be important not only for customers but for Toyota's broader brand message. It would show the company can modernize the truck formula without losing the honest, durable, dependable values people expect from Toyota trucks. There is also a cultural implication behind the Stout's return. Reviving that name suggests Toyota is increasingly aware that historical continuity has become a competitive advantage. In a market where many new vehicles blur together visually and conceptually, a heritage badge immediately gives meaning. The Stout can carry the feel of something grounded, purposeful, and unpretentious. It can offer a truck identity that is less about posturing and more about usefulness. That is especially relevant in an era when many buyers want authenticity from brands. A revived Stout does not need to be flashy to make an impact. Its greatest strength could be precisely that it represents a calmer, more rational, more human-scale idea of utility. The electric Toyota RAV4 may be the most consequential model in purely market terms. The RAV4 has long been one of Toyota's most important nameplates because it sits at the center of family transportation, everyday practicality, and global relevance. Turning that formula into a fully electric model is not just a product decision. It is a declaration that electrification is moving into Toyota's mainstream heartland. If an electric sports car arrives, people notice. If an electric halo SUV arrives, people talk. But when a brand electrifies one of its most recognizable family vehicles, it signals something larger. It means the electric future is no longer parked at the edges of the lineup. It has entered the core. That is why the electric RAV4 carries such weight within the reveal. Toyota is effectively taking one of the safest, most trusted, most universal shapes in its lineup and giving it a new propulsion identity. This could be one of the clearest ways for the company to make electric mobility feel familiar rather than intimidating. A lot of buyers do not want their transition to electric driving to come wrapped in futuristic drama. They want the same confidence, proportions, practicality, and reliability they associate with their current crossover, only adapted for a different era. An electric RAV4 suggests Toyota understands that mass adoption will come not only through innovation, but through familiarity. The implications of that are enormous. An electric RAV4 can function as a bridge between cautious mainstream consumers and the broader electric vehicle market. It can redefine what an EV is supposed to feel like. Instead of presenting electric driving as a radical departure, Toyota can present it as the natural next version of a vehicle people already trust. That may be one of the smartest ways to lower psychological barriers. For years, many electric models have been marketed through novelty, speed, or design disruption. The RAV4 does not need to rely on that. Its strength lies in being normal in the best possible sense. If Toyota executes it properly, the electric RAV4 could make EV ownership seem less like an experiment and more like a practical household decision. At the same time, electrifying the RAV4 changes the meaning of Toyota's entire technology strategy. The brand has often been associated with patience, caution, and a broader mix of propulsion paths. An electric RAV4 does not necessarily abandon that philosophy, but it does sharpen it. It shows Toyota is willing to bring battery electric thinking directly into a model that defines its mainstream appeal. That matters because consumers increasingly judge car makers not only on engineering depth, but on clarity of direction. The electric RAV4 helps clarify that Toyota is prepared to move electric technology into one of the most commercially important spaces in the market, not merely keep it confined to side projects or symbolic flagships. If the electric RAV4 is the rational centerpiece, the return of the Toyota Celica is the emotional lightning bolt. Few names carry the same sense of accessible excitement, youthful ambition, and sporty identity. The Celica matters because it belongs to a category that many manufacturers have let fade, the attainable sports coupe with real character. Its return suggests Toyota sees value in passion-driven products that sit below the premium exotic world and above ordinary transportation. That is hugely significant because enthusiasm is often treated as secondary in the modern market. Yet brands that create desire tend to build stronger identities than brands that focus only on function. A new Celica would represent more than nostalgia. It would symbolize Toyota's belief that performance and personality still matter in a future shaped by crossovers, electrification, and digital convenience. The name evokes lightness, sharpness, and a kind of sporty aspiration that feels more democratic than intimidating. If brought back thoughtfully, the Celica could become a modern expression of driving fun that complements Toyota's recent performance-oriented image while expanding it beyond niche enthusiasts. It has the potential to reconnect the brand with buyers who want something emotional but not extravagant, something stylish but not fragile, something engaging but still grounded in Toyota's reputation for durability and usability. The reveal of a new Celica also carries deeper brand implications because sports cars often act as emotional anchors for an entire lineup. Even people who never buy them feel their effect. They add energy to the brand, sharpen public perception, and create a sense that the manufacturer still cares about the joy of driving. For Toyota, that matters enormously. The company has spent years proving it can build sensible, efficient, dependable vehicles. It does not need further validation on that front. What a revived Celica does is add romance back into the equation. It tells the market that Toyota is not content to be seen only as prudent. It wants to be seen as exciting, expressive, and worthy of aspiration too. There is also an important strategic contrast between the electric RAV4 and the Celica. One speaks to the future of mainstream transportation, while the other speaks to the future of emotional product identity. Unveiling both in the same event suggests Toyota is trying to avoid the trap of letting electrification flatten its character. Many brands risk making their lineups feel technically modern but emotionally thin. Toyota's answer appears to be that the future must still include excitement, heritage, and enthusiast appeal. In that sense, the Celica becomes more than a coupe. It becomes a declaration that transition does not have to mean surrendering fun. The Toyota Land Cruiser pickup truck may be the purest expression of global toughness in the reveal. The Land Cruiser name already stands for durability, endurance, and capability in some of the harshest conditions imaginable. Turning that identity into a pickup format feels almost inevitable in hindsight because it extends an already respected reputation into a body style defined by work, hauling, field use, and expedition versatility. The result is a vehicle concept that could sit at the intersection of professional utility and overland ambition. It would appeal not merely because it bears the Land Cruiser name, but because that name transforms expectations of what the truck should be able to withstand. This matters because the Land Cruiser pickup concept carries a different kind of authority from ordinary pickups. It suggests seriousness. It suggests remote capability, structural integrity, and engineering meant for unforgiving environments rather than suburban theater. A Land Cruiser pickup does not need to chase chrome-heavy image culture or urban truck luxury trends to stand out. Its power comes from a tougher mythology. The implications are significant because Toyota would be offering a truck that feels tied to real-world resilience at a time when many pickups have drifted toward lifestyle display. That gives the model a unique position. It can be desirable not because it is oversized or extravagant, but because it feels purpose-built in the deepest sense. There is a strong symbolic value in combining Land Cruiser DNA with a pickup bed. It suggests Toyota wants to reconnect utility vehicles with their most elemental meaning. The Land Cruiser has always represented mechanical honesty and go-anywhere confidence. Translating that into a pickup could create one of the clearest statements in the reveal about what capability means in the coming decade. Rather than reimagining toughness as a software package or a design costume, Toyota appears to be reinforcing the idea that real ruggedness still matters. In a market increasingly fascinated by image-driven adventure branding, that distinction could be very powerful. The return of the Toyota FJ Cruiser adds yet another dimension to the reveal, one rooted in identity, style, and off-road culture. The FJ Cruiser has always occupied a special place because it was not merely capable, but unmistakable. It had visual attitude, a retro-modern silhouette, and a sense of fun that separated it from more anonymous SUVs. Bringing it back for 2027 suggests Toyota believes there is still strong value in vehicles that have a defined personality rather than broad generic appeal. The FJ Cruiser is important because it speaks to people who do not want their SUV to be invisible. They want it to feel like a companion for a certain kind of life. That has broader implications than it might first appear. In recent years, many SUVs have converged around safe shapes and diluted identities. The FJ Cruiser stands for the opposite. It is boxy rather than sleek, playful rather than neutral, and iconic rather than forgettable. Its return indicates Toyota sees lifestyle authenticity as a serious strategic asset. Not every buyer wants a universal crossover template. Some want a vehicle that says something about adventure, exploration, irreverence, and individuality. The revived FJ Cruiser would be Toyota's answer to that demand, and its presence in this reveal reinforces the idea that the future lineup is being built around emotional variety as much as segment coverage. The FJ Cruiser's significance also lies in the type of off-road energy it represents. The Land Cruiser pickup suggests durability and work-oriented toughness. The FJ Cruiser suggests recreational adventure, trail culture, and visual charisma. Both are rugged, but they express ruggedness differently. That distinction is critical because it shows Toyota is not treating the off-road market as one-dimensional. The company appears to understand that capability has many languages. Some buyers want expedition-grade seriousness. Others want a more compact, more expressive machine with a cult-like personality. By revealing both, Toyota signals that it intends to serve the full emotional spectrum of the off-road world. When all 5 vehicles are viewed together, the brilliance of the reveal becomes clearer. This is not a random collection of announcements. It is a portfolio statement. The Stout addresses practical utility with a smaller truck logic. The electric RAV4 addresses the everyday mainstream electric future. The Celica addresses emotion and performance heritage. The Land Cruiser pickup addresses global toughness and work-capable adventure. The FJ Cruiser addresses style-led, rugged identity. That breadth tells us Toyota is thinking about 2027 as a year in which the market will be fragmented, not just by price, but by lifestyle, propulsion preference, and emotional need. Rather than forcing a single answer onto every buyer, Toyota seems to be building a set of distinct answers. That strategy has important implications for how Toyota sees brand strength. Many automakers are attempting to simplify their public image around one central narrative, usually electrification or luxury or technology. Toyota's reveal suggests a more layered philosophy. It implies that the company believes the future belongs to brands capable of serving many identities without losing coherence. The coherence here comes from Toyota's underlying values: durability, usability, trust, and increasingly, emotion. The models differ dramatically, but together they still feel like parts of the same worldview. That worldview says a modern car maker can be practical and exciting, traditional and forward-looking, rugged and efficient, mainstream and enthusiast-friendly all at once. There is also a notable confidence in the use of legacy nameplates. Reviving the Stout, Celica, and FJ Cruiser is not simply a play for recognition. It is a sign that Toyota sees its own history as an asset that can be activated in new market conditions. Legacy names matter because they provide a framework of meaning before the vehicle even arrives. They create immediate expectations about purpose and personality, but they also carry risk because if the modern version feels disconnected from the spirit of the original, the badge becomes a burden instead of a gift. The very fact that Toyota is willing to place 3 revived names on stage suggests the company believes it can translate historical character into contemporary design and engineering without hollowing it out. The reveal also says something important about automotive timing. By 2027, the market will be deep into a period where buyers are demanding not just compliance with new technological realities, but clarity of identity. Technology is becoming expected. Screens, connectivity, advanced driver aids, electrified powertrains, and digital interfaces no longer guarantee excitement. They are increasingly baseline requirements. What differentiates vehicles now is the story they tell and the role they play in a buyer's life. Toyota's 5-model reveal seems acutely aware of that. Each vehicle has a clear narrative. The Stout is useful and grounded. The RAV4 EV is familiar yet forward. The Celica is aspirational and lively. The Land Cruiser pickup is resilient and serious. The FJ Cruiser is iconic and adventurous. These are not just vehicles, they are archetypes. Another crucial implication lies in how this reveal positions Toyota against shifting customer psychology. Buyers today often want vehicles that reflect who they are, not merely how they travel. That means a product must deliver more than transport efficiency. It needs emotional precision. The Stout can speak to minimalists and practical doers. The electric RAV4 can speak to families ready for electric adoption without drama. The Celica can speak to drivers who still care about style and engagement. The Land Cruiser pickup can speak to those who value toughness as a real functional trait. The FJ Cruiser can speak to adventurous individualists who want something with soul. This reveal shows Toyota is trying to map vehicles onto identities with unusual sharpness. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, could you leave your comments below and tell us, what do you think Koji Sato new Toyota lineup reveals about future strategy direction? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.